But if anybody wants a large bandsaw, I was at Retool yesterday and he's expecting one in Monday. I don't know what the brand is. He had a picture of it, but he said it's going to be well worth it. So, and he's got some other tools coming in. Thank you.
I think I've shown some stuff from wood that I got from Texas Hill Country Olive Company before, but I had a piece here recently that I had tried to make a birdhouse from, and I cut it out, and somehow or another the hole got off-centered, so I just kind of set that off aside. Came back and made a birdhouse, cut that part off, and had enough left over that I made this little cut, and real pretty wood. And it's olive.
What's the wood? Olive?
Olive from Texas Hill Country Olive Company. It's wood that they had got killed in the freeze back in 2020, and in 2021 I went out there and bought some pieces. My wife said I needed to make a napkin ring out of that. She really liked that, and so that piece where it was already had a hole in it, I just made the hole a little bigger and made a little napkin ring out of it. I have several bird houses. I'm gonna, my brother commissions me to make bird houses, and 5 of these are going to go to him. This is the one that was made out of the olive wood with the paddock top. I'm keeping that one. After, what was it, last month's demonstration on doing ornaments, I didn't do any inside out ones, but I did make several. This is out of some cedar. This one over here is maple with walnut pieces. And was there another one? This one here is out of the Bradford pear that we cut down here a couple of weeks ago. And that one is going to be for the ornament exchange. And the acorns are just some that I stuck in there to fill up some holes on the tree.
Can I say something just a minute? That Bradford tear, when it came down, you that weren't there missed watching me fall on my butt. The strap broke and I went down. And I wished I would have had a movie of it.
Do it again.
I do have a movie of the final deal coming of the tree coming down.
Yeah, but you didn't get.
I didn't get that part. No.
So he cushioned my fall.
Tommy brought up a good point that I forgot in the announcements. Laura has a ticket for your ornament. So if you turn in an ornament, you need to get a ticket from her so that you can receive one when we do our exchange.
All right. This is the book that I referenced last month in the demo. It's by Dale Nish. I borrowed it from Robert Suddeth. So we went ahead and got one for the library. So it doesn't have a pocket in it yet, but I did make a card for it, so if you check that out. Now, here, you can hold that.
Who was it by again?
Dale Nish.
Dale Nish.
Dale Nish, yeah.
He's with the, well, he's passed away now.
Craft Supply.
Craft Supply, excellent term. Here's my ornament for the exchange. This was some dyed wood that I had. No clue what it is. But I thought this was interesting because, you know, I took it home to have another set of eyes. And my son happened to be there. And I asked him, I said, okay, is this size proportionally for this? He said, yeah. But he said, it would actually look better upside down. And I never saw that until he said that, but I already had this in here and the hooch, so, you know, whoever wins it can do whatever you want with it. I too got one of the blanks from Michael. This is the Don't Tread on Me Gadsden flag. Is that right, Michael? I believe so. So that's what I have for Georgia.
Okay, so I made this little, out of that foam I showed y'all last meeting. And I was making it for my shop, but I didn't really like it, so I put it in a raffle. But it's that pear we cut down a couple weeks ago, and I just trimmed it out with some walnut, little finial for the raffle and a pin. This will be my ornament exchange. Little gnome inside there.
Cool.
Everybody likes their gnomes around here. And then, this is some of that walnut from Vans. Split on me after I made it, with the ones you like the most always. Anybody's got any tips on how I can fix that? It'd be great.
It's cool.
What kind of wood is that?
Black walnut. And then I just made this out of scraps. You saw that when I first glued it up. With some Paduke and cherry, mahogany, maple. And they were like just random pieces that I glued together. So there's all kinds of different shapes, but I thought that came out pretty nice. Though I don't know if I could do that thin on purpose. It just happened to be enough that it didn't mess up. Most of my projects
Thin
aren't
CA
that good.
glue,
I'm still learning a lot.
thin CA glue, penetrate that crack.
But to get that finish back.
Yeah, you have to, yeah, refinish it.
Here's some of that pear that we cut down also, except I used Ben's trick and stuck it in the freezer for a week after I turned it green. And it did really well, except for one little branch, the pith there split, so then I drilled it out and I was like, well, I'll fill it with epoxy, but it's gotten so thin now, you can see through the rim right here. And any advice on what I could do to save this would be great, without having to cut it off and make a smaller bowl. And then that just made me a little sign. I got the idea from the oak because it kind of looked like Damascus. I'm a chef, so it just kind of makes sense. And I turned the onions and the carrot, I just kept offsetting on one side 2 different times. And it gave me that realistic carrot look.
Yeah, that's cool.
And Van burned it for me. So.
I like it.
Okay. Been busy making ornaments. This one is Van. Where's Van?
I'm hiding from you, Robert.
There's resemblance.
Well, I cut my beard off, so,
Well, this is before.
okay, all right.
And then I did it inside out and put a little Christmas tree in it. Birdhouses, and this is, I don't know what kind of wood that is. God only knows. But I moved it in my shop. I don't know how many times I just grabbed it and used it. And I put a smokestack on it, so any of you make birdhouses, if you had the old-fashioned kind, you don't have a smokestack, but this is new and modern. So, another birdhouse. Another birdhouse. This one, I took 2 or 3 pine cones and pulled the, what do you call it? Seeds off, trimmed them, and glued them on here individually. And then Dewey made my finial for me. Gene, you got show and tell.
You show it.
And this, Dewey gave me some black walnut, and I made this, and I tried Milan's for the first time. And, it worked, but I can get it smoother next time, I think. And, Gene. And this was Jean's, her bell. Okay, that's it.
And she did that when we had our open shop out at my shop. She's working on that, had lots of help.
Well, there went his hat.
So,
No. I just stuck it on with heat melt glue because I was testing it out how it needed to be. Where am I? Okay.
you're good.
This is Rhonda Settle thing. She sent me a picture and says, you can do this right. And I says, then anyway, I didn't. I made it my own. It's a West Texas snowman made out of black walnut, silver maple, and I carved on the hat to make it not like,
Truly West Texas, it should have been mesquite.
I know, but it's dark for sand. And this is, the tree is actually mulberry, but put oak for the nose. Anyway, Rhonda sent it to me and said, can you make a smoker out of this? And I'm going, I don't know how to make it draw. You know, it has to have a way to draw under there to make it smoke out its mouth. So anyway, that's what I did. And this is my ornament for the
I've been, they increased my meds, so I've been able to get out in the shop a little more. I made this out of acrylic. I like to use the trim line. They're just a tiny bit, maybe 30 or 40 cents more expensive than slim line, but I think they make a little heftier pen.
Nicer looking,
Yeah. And then,
yeah. Who sells those?
I'm sorry,
Who sells those?
Jim? I don't. Jim Bob ordered a bunch of them
Oh, I
time
see.
ago. And then I made a little birdhouse out of just some limb I found outside. And then these aren't exactly inside out, but I put little lights in them. To get to hold them in, I took a little tiny bit of hot glue and just put a couple little dabs of hot glue on the bottom to keep it up. So I found out though, that's the chuck that holds the drill.
Jacob's chuck.
Jacob's chuck. I found out when you're drilling walnut, if you got holes in the side of it, that it'll catch, you know. After I got in pretty deep, it caught and spun my Jacob's chuck. Took a couple of chunks out of my fingers. So I learned to get a pair of water pump pliers and help hold it instead of just with my hands. You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I forgot. I also made this will be in the raffle.
Here, it goes in the pot.
A push stick. I like the long nose one so it pushes down on the wood. Saw blade doesn't knock it up out of the way.
All right, so the first one I made, Jim Bob's cotton. I really love the stuff. It's a love-hate relationship. So I took the ends of it, the offcuts, and then put a piece of mesquite in between it. So it's kind of a West Texas type hip. The other ones, these are bleachers from Lambeau Stadium for Packers. So I took both of those and then made a label cast with the Packers on it to match it. This is a little hollow form out of beeswing eucalyptus. The beeswing is the figure that you get up here. And the little finial was just maple that dyed black. And for the ornament exchange, did a little birdhouse. So it's cherry and walnut.
Okay, this will be in the raffle. You know, you want to see something turn, right? That skunk is still in this package. He shed it. This is oak, whoever gets this. It had super glued all of this together so that, and it's got a tenon on it. I think that you'll be able to make it either a dovetail or straight like I did. I think that if you make a gnome, you may want to think about making the one that's not got the pointed top because of the crack in the wood. And in here is 2 beards. There's one beard that just straight across, and the other beard, I kind of made it for this gnome, is where you actually take it, and when you got it where it comes like this, it makes the beard look a little bit more neat. And there's a nose in here. So all you got to do now is figure out how to do it. I made a little ornament. Now, you know, Jim Bob while ago talked about proportions. I think this is out of proportion. I don't know whether to hang it like this or hang it like this or throw it in the trash. But there it is right there. This is walnut. And this is for the ornament exchange.
Needs a finial on top.
I got one right there. See that wire?
It's real thin.
Yeah.
Real thin. Gold.
Real thin.
It's gold. Yeah, it's gold. And that was it.
Morning. Morning. I was just gonna give a big thank you to Michael. He showed me how to do the sticker casting, or label casting, whatever you want to call it. Got me some molds and kind of messed around doing some things. Haven't got into it a lot, but Alicia and I did this one here that's like, it's just a little checkered pattern. Just to play around with it, and we've been trying to mess around with the printing and things like that, but I just wanted to say a big thank you to you, and that's one thing I really like about the club is we all share the knowledge and all try to help each other learn a little bit, so I appreciate that, and that's all I got.
When you glue up strips, or how'd you make that?
No, it's basically a sticker. And so you have a sticker that's the size of the tube, you wrap the tube, and then you cast it in clear epoxy.
I see.
And then spin it down, so.
Yeah, cool.
Maybe next time I'll have some more examples, but this is the only one that we've finished so far. Some of the others, the sticker came apart after we did it. You know, gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. Hey.
First thing I'm going to show is this little bow. I made this out of that pear that we cut down. So it's a Bradford pear. I let that set a couple of weeks before I turned it. Then I made these pin cushion holders. And this one will go in the raffle here. What I made. And those are made out of some Bradford pear that I cut a long time ago.
Where you get your pin cushions?
At Joanne's. I got them from Rosemary. She got them at Joanne's. And here's my Christmas ornament. That's for the giveaway. And of course that's hollowed that. That's box elder and pear. And then
the last meeting, those of you that were here, can remember, I'm not even gonna. Here, I'll hold it. Can remember Jim Bob give me this piece of chole to turn an ornament out of. And I put bank zeopod on there, and the top and bottoms are made out of catalogs. So, and then I make, of course, that's walnut, and these are what I made out of what he gave me.
It's beautiful.
That's great.
These are two of the bowls from a board that I actually turned in Waco at SWAT. And I didn't have them completely finished, so I finished them out and brought them to show what they look like. It's an easy process. You saw the demo, or several of you saw the demo. But this was a flat piece of wood. After I glued it up, laminated it together, and then cut it using the same technique that I demoed here for the club. So I just wanted to show you these. These are the ones that I actually started in Waco and finished up. I believe 5 different pieces of wood, or different species. And then I had a piece of mesquite that I really liked the looks of it, but I couldn't come up with much of a project for it. So I bit the bullet and decided I'm going to cast resin. And so this took a lot of resin to make a bowl that size. And the walls were probably close to 1 inch thick when I cast it, so I had to turn a lot down as well. The epoxy is designer epoxy deep cast. And it worked really well. There were no fractures or anything like that when I cast it. I did put it in a pressure pot.
I really like that, Scott, that's pretty.
I'll go in a minute.
Made a couple of wig stands to donate to the group for the Cancer Society.
In and Out Foundation.
In and Out Foundation. But this is a recycled wooden pallet that got used for a fence post and it rotted, and then I turned it into a wig stand. And this is one of the M&M dispensers I did at SWAT for the demonstration. I finally got around to finishing it. All the bags now is candy. And we got one more thing real quick. Simplified design by Tom Woman that I really like. And this is the most segments. There's 48 segments per ring. This is the most that I've done. So I made a new sled, and I can do 96 pretty easily, and everything came out just right. So I went back to 48 and made a whole bunch of rings to make sure that I could reproduce what I had before. And it turns out everything works really well. And, so this holds a whole bunch of train wear, so walnut spoons, and I just mount these between centers and turn it. I'll cut it out crude, turn it, and even for these choppers or spatulas, I turn this on the lathe between the centers so that they come out symmetrically. And that way I'm better at the lathe than I am with bandsaw. So I just clean up all my seams on the lathe, and this is what comes out. I'm not very experienced with trainware, so if any of you guys know much about wooden kitchenware, I'd kind of like to talk to you.
We've got a chef in the audience. I bet he can advise you. What kind of wood was that? Walnut and maple or?
Walnut, mesquite, honey locust, and pine for some practice pieces.
This is a piece of spalted mahogany that I hollowed out. It's been a while since I did that. I was looking at some stuff, trying to, what can I bring to put in a raffle? And thought, you know what? I'll put this on there and I'll share it with somebody. I think I turned this about a year ago. Maybe before my last demo, I don't remember, but it was a spalted mahogany. And then this is well, part of this is the piece of Buckeye that Jim Bob handed out at the last meeting for his stuff. This centerpiece is Buckeye, and I've glued up 2 pieces of Purple Heart for the finials. And this one is going to be my ornament for the giveaway exchange. I think I was last. Is that
Nope, Ron
anybody else?
still needs to go.
Ron needs to go.
Well, I have a real fancy hanger here, like Freddie.
You gotta step your work up.
When you wrap those little wires, when you wrap the little wires around this coat hanger, it's real hard to get them to look real pretty. But I thought I did a pretty good job of it. Anyway, I've got some just maple that ended up being kind of plain, so I hid the plain maple with some glitter. And then I have an inside out, let's see which one I'm on here, with bell, looks like bells. I was kind of amazed, I almost made 2 pieces out of that. Those get a little bit scary. And then as far as having a segmented type of ornament, I took some segments, cut-offs that Robert Sutter had, glued them back up together and ran them, and then built a little tiny inside-out ornament. I don't know which ornament I would like to put in the exchange.
Sparkly one.
We're going to go with the coat hanger.
The coat hanger.
I don't think any of the rest of them are coming off.
We could untie that one maybe, but anyway. And then I had one unturned. Oh, my glitter fell off. Oh, nuts. In doing the stars that Jim Burt has taught us how to do, you build your star and then you get the extra outer part. And so I just I found a doily type of glittery thing, glued that on, and my wife doesn't like it because it doesn't hang perfectly square, but I like it because it just hangs. So there.
Well, let's see. If you hung it from here, it would hang perfectly vertical.
Well, not all things in the world are just real symmetrical. Thank you.